I'm going to demystify how to get cheaper Facebook ad results. The understanding first and actually doing it are very different. So I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I'm going to show you the secret of how to get cheaper results. And so how do I know? As I'm pulling up my screen, my agency, we deal with a lot of brands. So we know a thing or two on how to get cheaper cost results, cheaper purchases, cheaper CPMs, whatever you're going for. But to do that is you have to understand how does the ad auction work that shows favoritism to give you those cheaper results. So I'm going to demystify that, how to trick the algorithm to give you cheaper results, but you have to understand how it works first of all. Meta actually produced and they published how their auction actually works. So the ad auction works like this. You have a bid, you have estimated actions, and you have ad quality. These are the three variables that they look at that then reward someone to get show to more people for cheaper results, cheaper CPMs, which also result in cheaper cost per clicks and cheaper purchases. And I'm going to explain how my team uses this to our advantage to get those results. So you have to understand this. So I just want to be really clear. If you don't understand this, you're going to always be wandering around being super pissed off and frustrated that everyone's getting cheaper results than you. But once you understand this, then you'll know how to manipulate what you do to get those cheaper results. So here's how the auction works. It's very simple. Is to have a good performance, Meta looks at your bid, which I'll explain in a second, your estimated action rates, and your ad quality. It's like a math problem. This times this times this equals this. So for example, if I want more performance and I want to pay less, I have to increase estimated action rates and increase ad quality. Makes sense? But if my ad quality sucks, then that means my estimated action rates have to be better and I have to spend more. Or if my estimated action rates, which I'll explain in a second, sucks, that means my ad quality better get better, or I have to be more willing to spend more to get that customer. Like that's how it works, like a math formula. So let's look at this. So bid, what is the bid? A bid very simply on Meta is a bid placed by an advertiser for that ad. Means in other words, that advertiser is willing to pay to achieve that desired outcome. There are multiple ways to manage your bid in the ad auction. So this is taken directly from Meta's explanation of how their auction works. Then you have, for example, the bid. So am I willing to spend more per customer? Am I willing to increase that volume or increase the highest value? These are different ways that you can bid. Or I can do goal-based bidding, which is I'm willing to pay this price per customer, or here is my target ROAS goal, if that's a 3x or 4x, or I can use manual bidding, which is bid cap. All of these are different options you can choose that tells Meta I'm willing to spend more. Most of our clients, we used to highest volume or highest value, mainly highest volume to be honest with you. Sometimes we use bid caps, but that still sends signals to Meta how much these guys are willing to spend to get that customer. Now here's where things get really interesting that you really have to understand this, is your estimated action rates. An estimate whether a particular person engages with or converts from a particular ad. In other words, the probability that showing an ad to a person leads to that desired outcome for the advertiser. So for example, Meta, when you click on an ad, it understands if you're going for conversions, it understands the probability someone is going to take that action from your ad. But that includes your website, that includes the buyer's journey, the conversion rate. Meta understands the percentage of people who click on an ad and stay a certain amount of time on the landing page. It understands the people who click on an ad and the likelihood they're going to add to cart. It looks at the amount of people who click on an ad and are going to purchase or add their payment details. Meta understands these probabilities. But what that means is because Meta knows all those things, you have to think like Meta and say, how can I increase Meta's thinking of my probability something's going to happen? Then you have ad quality, which is Meta's measure of the quality of an ad determined from sources like feedback from people who view the ad, people who hide the ad, how much they like, comment, and engage with the ad, how much it makes them stop their scroll with their thumb. These are all signals that Meta is seeing on every single ad someone sees. They're also seeing how long do they watch the video? How long do they stop the video? Or when do they leave the video? It understands all those things. What the heck does all this mean? What this means is if you want to get cheaper purchases, cheaper clicks, cheaper CPMs, going back to the formula, it means if you are not happy with your cost per purchase, you have to increase something somewhere. And your two main levers, if you want something cheaper, is to change these estimated action rates or ad quality. So what that means is if I increase my conversion rate, I will get cheaper results in the platform. If I increase the probability or the likelihood that along this customer path from click to landing page view, to someone viewing my product page, to adding to cart, adding payment details, to purchasing, if I increase any one of those, Meta will know that and will reward me because it now understands that the probability someone's going to do that thing will get better. So for example, Meta knows all the history of your ad account, all the history of your pixel. It understands the probability that when this ad account, this brand shows an ad to someone, what's the probability they're going to do that action? So by increasing that on the back end, I will increase my probability that Meta will reward me cheaper purchases and reach people for cheaper rates. For example, Meta, it wants to reward users and companies that have good experiences. It wants to keep people on their platform. How it keeps people on their platform is by putting things in front of people that they want to see, want to read, and they want to buy. So it literally rewards brands who people love their products and go gaga over it. It will reward them with cheaper results because they know that this provides a good experience to the user. So if you are not happy with your results, you have to look at this. The other thing you have to look at, which I already mentioned, is ad quality, meaning one ad can change Meta's perception of your ad quality, which can also give you cheaper results. That's why making really good ads makes a massive difference. That's why if you make one really good ad, it can change the performance of your ad account, significantly lower your cost per purchase. For example, we had a brand that we took on, their cost per purchase was $100, which is insane for them. It was undoable. It would kill their business. Just by making better ads, without changing anything else, we didn't change the landing pages, we didn't change the conversion rate. Just by making a better ad, making it more engaging, more entertaining, Meta rewarded us with cheaper CPMs and our cost per purchase was cut in half. So you have to understand these factors because if you aren't happy with your cost per purchase, you only have two main levers, unless you want to pay more and be willing to bid more, which I don't know about you, but I'm not, is you have to, how can I increase Meta's belief that the probability is increasing, meaning a better experience on the product page, getting more people to add to cart with a higher average, getting a higher conversion rate, or I need to make ads that are significantly better, again, to increase this formula. Because if I'm not happy with my performance, any incremental increase in this makes it better. So for example, 1 times 1 times 1 equals 1, but 1 times 1 times 2 equals 2. But if like 1 times 2 times 3, well, then now that equals 6, right? So you can see that little increments in any one of these two factors does massive swings. So that fundamentally is the secret to get cheaper results on Meta. Make sure you comment if this doesn't make sense or if you need additional help. I answer all of my comments on this channel, and also make sure you subscribe. I know this seems maybe over some of your heads, but guys, this is critical. This is how my team of strategists think. This is how we scale brands, is once we understand this fundamental knowledge, then it guides you on what you have to fix and what you have to change. See you in the next video.